Well, there's half of the drive shaft.
It has an uncontained nuclear reaction and explodes.
It's like I can see straight to the daggum flywheel.
My brain hurts now. Good morning, people of internet land. Welcome back. I hope you're all doing well. I say good morning, just. It's about to be 12 noon in about like 15 minutes. You joined me today, obviously not in a school bus. I'm in my truck. I know we have one blind person that likes this channel. So for verbal context, I'm not in a bus right now. I have some errands and shenanigans I have to do before this afternoon's bus route. So I'm gonna take you with me as I go do that. But first, what I think I'm gonna do is pop in here to the Wawa that we just got. I don't really eat lunch on bus days, school days. I don't eat lunch on school days. Not a full lunch anyway. I may have like a tiny snack to just get me through the bus route. I'm gonna go in here and grab a snack, and then we will get back on the road and I'll explain what all else I have to do. Air condition. I love air condition that my house doesn't have right now, but the guys are there working on it. Apparently we're having to replace the entire AC unit. Yeah. Got Barks and a thing of powdered donuts. No, it's not healthy. Yes, I know that. No, I don't do this every day. I just felt like it. Here's what we need to do, or here's we, as in you're watching this in the past, or in the future. You're watching this in the future of me now, but you're watching the past of things I've already done. My brain hurts now. Anyway, yeah, I turned 21 like a long time ago, and never actually updated my license. So that it says, because when you're under 21 on your CDL, in big letters they put under 21 because you're not supposed to drive out of state. So now that I am 21, I should have got my license changed or updated even to not say under 21, and I just never got around to it, primarily because I never needed it. 171 needs to be fueled and swept. Fueled at least. The sweeping can wait if I need, but I have to get fuel at least. And I don't know if I'm gonna do this right now, but at some point I need to pick up more of my blue mechanic-y paper towels. I'm out of those. So I was gonna go get some of those just for quality of life reasons. I'm now getting on the interstate, and thank God there's nobody in front of me so I can actually pick up momentum. That's a good public service announcement. Let's add that to the video. When you get on the entry ramp to get on the interstate, put your foot down. Seriously, like there's no reason, unless you're an 18-wheeler, there's no reason you shouldn't be up to cruise speed by the time you get down the ramp. I know people can't seem to comprehend that. I'm gonna stop ranting now, don't worry. Okay, slight detour. I forgot there's a travel center right here on the way to the DMV, DDS, whatever the heck you call it. And I know they have those blue paper towels. Holy good gracious guacamole, I forgot how expensive those things were, but they're a lot better quality than your normal paper towels. I know I need to refuel the bus, and I didn't do it this morning when I came back from route because I came in and the waiting line to get fuel was like wrapped around the building again. We need another fuel pump, seriously. You can turn up in the middle of the day and do it theoretically. I don't, because I don't stay at the yard the entire day because I have other things to do. So it's like, do you try to do it right before route? Do you try to do it right after route? Is the waiting line going to be bad? Is the waiting line going to be nobody? Am I going to almost hit my hazards at a railway in my own vehicle just then? Yeah, I nearly did. I didn't move, but like I felt the inclination to reach for them. That's not weird at all, right? If there's any other school bus drivers watching, tell me if y'all ever do that, like in your own car, if you just come up to a railway and hit your hazards and stop. Because I've done it before. Airport! Is the Delta Jet in here? No? Maybe? No, Delta Jet's not here. Oh, there's a little Cessna taking off. Huh, I probably need to watch the road. That's probably a better idea. Ooh, look at all the traffic that always happens in this town. Where's that Cessna gone? Ooh, plane, take me flying with you. I almost became a pilot, actually. At one point in my childhood, that's what I wanted to do. And as you can clearly tell by the fact that this is not an aviation channel, I didn't. There's a long story behind that, though. Let's go over here. Wait for the cars. Move! Thank you. Where's that Cessna gone? Oh, he's right over my head. I can't really fiddle with the GoPro while I'm driving, but he's like turning right. Is he doing traffic patterns? I am filming this, by the way, right now on, I just got a hold of a GoPro 12. So I'll still be using the 11 mini on my head cam, but this one should be for like suction cup and vlogging this way. So we're gonna try it out and see if the quality looks any better. Supposedly it does, but there's also the chance that my PC has an uncontained nuclear reaction and explodes from the file size. That's also possible. We shall see. Now here's a question. Does this place close for lunch? Because if they do, it's about 12:10 right now. I didn't even think about that. I don't know if they close for lunch, so that's the thing. Alright, I'm gonna go find out. Stand by. Right, so I've completed the license update. I now have one of those like paper ones that's temporary. They're gonna mail me the actual permanent card. And I'm not sure when it'll be here. They said within 30 days. Somehow I doubt that. We're talking about USPS and the federal government here, so it could be 48 hours. It could be 48 weeks. Hello. How have you been? Good, I hope. Where is it? I parked somewhere down here. Strangely quiet. I mean, it's kind of weird. It's like, I mean, all the mechanics and everybody are here, but none of the drivers are here. None of the buses are running. So, let's get mine. And we'll get some air conditioning going. And go fuel it. I need to fix that. And I need to sweep the inside. My gravy, it is hot in here. So, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and pre-trip that part and crank it up, quote unquote, and let the air condition build and go somewhere else while it does that, because it is hot in here. Well, the yard's not quiet anymore. Hello, 1202. Strange bus. Somebody asked me one time if I could go down the entire spare line. Well, that's kind of impossible because at any given time, half the spare line is out and about. But just for my sole curiosity, while 171's air condition is doing its thing, let's go take a gander and see who's here. There's my childhood bus, 0909. How are you feeling today? Good? Better? Hopefully. This has the traditional 09 max force, not its first engine, as you can probably imagine. 0558, driven that bus I think once, and it seems to have had most of its side skirts replaced. Huh. Okay, this bus has the DT466. What else was back here? Pretty much our entire spare line is second gen CEs. All the first gens have been retired, I think, or they're parked at schools as athletic buses. They're not completely retired. Now this is an interesting little one. This is one of the two 07 twins that have white tops. If you look closely right here, you can tell that number is not new. And if I come down here, you can tell there used to be a different name there, where you can still see the outline. And if I come down here, you'll see that number used to be different as well. And if I come down here, you'll see this badge, which is incredibly confusing to some people. Long story short, back in January of 24, we were in need of a couple extra spare buses because we were running short and we couldn't buy enough new ones to justify retiring old mainline buses. So we did something very unusual for us anyway. We found another county who was looking to sell two buses used, and we scooped them up. Now here is the thing's stuck in the mud. Ew. Here is the logic, shall we say, behind why we actually got the two of them. Number one, and primary, I guess the most important reason, is the engines. Now these 07s would have had, well, I can't remember if the economic exhaust treatment stuff was a thing in 07 yet, or if that was an 08 thing, but basically the point is this bus and its sister do not have the DT466, nor do they have the max force over there. So there is no exhaust treatment in this bus, nor its sister. Both of them are powered by the same Cummins ISB that is in all of our C2s. Now that presents a couple benefits. Number one, it's quieter than all the other second gen CEs. And number two, those Cummins engines don't have any exhaust treatment stuff, and they're not that old. When we bought them in January of 24, both of them had, I think, only about 10,000 miles on their new Cummins engines. So it was like solid engine that's fresh put in a solid bus. Like they were kind of the buses, and we came and looked at them. They needed a little cosmetic touching up, but other than that, I mean, the air condition worked, all the seats were good, engine and transmission were working fine. So I mean, we were like, well, this is kind of a good deal. So we scooped them up and got us two new to us 07s with a Cummins swap. So in any of my videos if you see one of our buses that's a full-length 2nd gen CE with a white top, you'll know it's one of the Cummins swapped ones. This one, the county we bought them from did the same numbering system, and they called this one 0709. We already have an 09 who is sitting right there, so we decided to number it 0719. I actually ferried, when we bought these, I helped ferry them back. Was it this one I was driving? Yeah, it was this one I was driving. I drove this one to ferry it here when we bought it, and I ferried both of them to get their new decals. And I actually, because that's part of my other job, is I actually did the decaling right here. So same thing with the name back here. So it's nice to come over here and see that the decaling's holding up well. But yeah, you can kind of see the weird outline of the old name behind it. The other one was called 0704 and it became 0718. So you can tell this one we only had to replace one digit. We just pulled the 0 off, put a 1. So 04 and 09 became 18 and 19 respectively. So we gave them new names, new names I mean, new numbers, and they've been working well as spare buses. I have not gotten a chance to drive them because, I kid you not, they're always claimed by somebody. I'm kind of surprised this one's even here, but I'll take a seat for a second. Everything over here is pretty much the same, with the exception of the cruise control switch is here and the regen stuff is here. Normally it was over here. That is the old event marker from the last county that does nothing now. That radio doesn't do anything either. That PA doesn't do anything. Basically none of that worked. It has speakers back there if the PA works, but it doesn't. And the air conditioning panels are over here. Whereas you'll know with the rest of our buses, the cruise control stuff is over here and the air conditioning's over here. They also have an exhaust brake switch. I did test run that actually when I drove 0719. When I ferried it back for the first time, I tested the exhaust brake to try it out. And it did work, but it wasn't very strong. In contrast to 171, whose engine brake is insanely strong. I don't use 171's engine brake much unless I'm either rapidly decelerating or decelerating down a hill. But yeah, that's a little look at one of the white top twins. I wish I had the other one here to show you too, but I don't, because they're all out and about. Now, I'm a bit irritated now because I'm noticing this big dent in the left rear corner, I mean, and that was not there when we bought these buses. So that means that one of our drivers did that, of course. Go freaking figure. Yeah, overall I like those. Here's 0905. Solid bus. I've heard good things about this one. Haven't had a chance to drive it myself, but I've also been told it's immensely loud. Like my dad got off it one day last year and he was like, my head hurts now, it's so loud. So I was like, well, that's, you know, that's not great, but yep, max force, as with all their 09s. 0623, I've had several videos with this bus and plenty more interactions not on camera with it. It's got the DT466. I should mention, I think they're all the DT466E model, which is I think the electronic fuel injection. I believe that's what all of them are. So if I say the 466 referring to one of our buses, that's what I mean. There's 0956 max force. 0718 is here. I'm freaking stupid. I didn't look down the rest of the spare line. Yeah, so all of my, what I was just saying about the white top twins, here is the other one. Cummins badge. They've been officially swapped. Both of them were officially swapped. Now I did not ferry, I ferried this one to get its new decals. I did not ferry it when we first bought it. This one, if I sit down, you'll notice a bunch of stuff missing right there, and you're like, what the heck? And then you come over here, all the air condition and exhaust brake and cruise, all of it's on this side. And the radio and PA, they don't work. So you're like, what the heck? Why does one of them have it over there and one of them have it over there? I don't know. There's 26,685 miles. I think that's on this engine. Surely that's not the entire bus itself for being an 07. I wouldn't think. But yeah, there's the white top. I'm very surprised they're both here. That is immensely rare for both of them and 23 to be sitting, and 0560s here. What the heck? What is going on? Is there like nobody's bus broken right now or something? Who's this? 217. Anyway, so this is the other white top twin. Oh goodness, needs some new paint up there. 0560 DT466 with a banged up back end. This is the bus I was driving the other day when the Wasp got in, and on that day when I went through 3 spare buses, and this was the 3rd one I got. And to put in perspective how chaotic that day was, I'm just now realizing that it's got a new quarter panel right there, new-ish. I didn't even notice that. I was trying to pre-trip so fast. Aha, here is 0951. This is a 2nd gen CE. It's a little special ed bus with a wheelchair lift. Now, this one has the max force, unfortunately. And this one is thankfully now a spare, as with 0950 right here. They're both little short 2nd gens with a max force, and they are spare special ed buses, not in mainline service anymore, thank God, because their other siblings, who are over there, I'll show you in a minute, are very unreliable. And then here's 1491. This is a C2 shortened with an ISB and wheelchair lift. So that's all of the quote-unquote spare buses that I have here that I can show you. The rest of them right now are being used, or the oldest ones are parked at schools for use by the athletic coaches. So 171's over there just running her air condition. That's fine. So since it feels pretty decent outside, I'm gonna walk back here to this line at the back of the yard, because I've had several people asking me, hey, go back here and show those buses that are about to get retired permanently. And I haven't done it yet because it's been insanely hot. So since today actually feels pretty good, we'll walk back here and take a look at them. Here's the sick bay. Show you the sick bay as we're walking by. There's 22. That bus has horrible air ride, and by that I mean none. It has an air ride seat, but it doesn't move. Oh, speaking of that, fun fact about the 2 white top twins, they did not have air ride when we first got them for the driver's seat. It was just a peg that went into the floor. And that was one of the things our mechanics did, was overhaul those seats and put air ride in. So we were very grateful that they did that. Now let's come back here. Let's see what we got going on. All right, this is 0952. All of the early 50s numbers were these short CE special ed buses with the wheelchair lift and the max force under the hood. This bus got an early retirement due to numerous engine issues. The fact that the other 2 max force sped buses are still in the spare line is solely because we don't have enough new ones yet to replace them. That is literally the only reason. Now, is there going to be Wasp in here? I don't know. These buses have been sitting unattended for a really long time, so there's a pretty good chance I'm going to find a Wasp at some point. But I mean, like, look at this seat, So following my usual train of luck, mid-sentence the GoPro shut off because it was too hot. So I'm going to film this on my phone, so bear with me, but here we go. As I was saying, if you look at the switches, like, these switches are barely worn down at all. The dash isn't dirty. Like, the steering wheel's not really that worn out. The seat's not, like, this bus should have had a lot of life left in it, and it just caused constant issues. Constant issues. As the max forces are known to do. But let's see what else is over here. Now, these are just here because they're aging out. They've not had any major issues. They were just old. This is 0329. We now have a 2629 or 2529, a C2 sped bus that replaced this one. This is a full-length first-gen CE with the luggage bays at the back, which is a little bit strange because this is the last bus, one of the last buses that actually had these that we ever got. And I think they're locked, or either just really stuck. But yeah, we don't order that option anymore. So this is kind of a bit of history gone by. We used to have it all the time on older Bluebirds, and said older Bluebirds are gone and have been for some time. Yeah. Oh man, it really nostalgic smell, that. I'm not sure whose seat cover this is. I need to come get it. Yep. Got like a hanky-jank cruise kind of wired in here. Dash needles at random spots like they're known to do. The key is in it. Let me just see if it has any power. Yep, still has battery power. Those switches have been replaced. And I know they've been replaced because they look way too new. I mean, if you look at the ones down here, they're all faded and stuff. There's a very hanky-jank cup holder that was left in here. Yeah, 0329 is DT466 under the hood. Solid bus. As is 0474 right here with a 466 under the hood. Yep, all these first gen CEs are getting ready to go. But they were pretty solid. I mean, they were kind of crap to drive when they got worn out, but any bus will do that. It's not really a bash against them. Yeah, 0474, first gen. These are all the same. You'll also notice they've actually got the eyelashes on the 8-ways. If I just zoom in, I call them eyelashes. I don't know what the correct term for it is. 0462 with a 466 under the hood got in an accident at some point, and I know that because this entire right front panel and the hood have newer paint than the rest of the side. But yeah, there's, do this the correct way so you can actually see. Same kind of panel. All the panels and dashboards were the same. They all had, all our first gens had the 466, and they all had the short roof height, which I didn't know was a thing until I was talking to 0312 Productions. Go check them out. And he promptly sent me some pictures of these first gens that had the high roof, and I was very confused. And I'm like, well, why the heck didn't we order that? I don't know. This is 1054. Now, this bus has been, what's the polite way to say this? Interesting. That was not me passing gas. That was a car on the road. 1054. So after the 09 batch came in and we had so many max force problems, we basically told International, you know, get lost. We're not buying this crap again. International basically came back to us and said, hey, we've improved our max force. Please give us one more chance. And we said okay. Now this pair of 2010 sped buses we had already ordered by the time we realized how bad the 09s were on their engines. So these came in and we said fine, and we ordered two 2012 models under the guise that they said they had improved their engine. Guess what? They had not. We had the same amount of problems, if not more. So after that, we abandoned International entirely until the 2026 models. But yeah, 54 famously is the one where the engine blew up, quite literally. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, so looking in here, we've got this thing has been completely partially gutted. It's a random pair of tennis shoes. There's something, I don't know what, I can't really tell, but there's half of the drive shaft. I think that's a piece of exhaust. I'm not even sure what that is, that piece of trim in the back. Is that part of the hood? I don't know, but looking down here under the dash, like I can see straight to the dadgum flywheel. So yeah, you can see, in case you doubted, oh, the instrument panel is like unhinged. In case you had any doubts about what I was saying, yeah, there's the proof. This bus has been quite adventurous, shall we say? Adventurous, pain in the biscuit, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, that's one of the 2010 CEs, one of the two. Here's 0477. I drove this off camera one time. Very solid bus. It's a second gen CE. I mean, it looks exactly the same as all the others, but yeah, 466 under the hood. This one was very nice, other than the fact that the air condition was lackluster at best. There's a sick bay right there. A few 09s. See 09, 59. A couple CEs. C2s. CEs and C2s. What am I saying? 76. Twin sister to 77. Pretty much the same. This is the one I made that post way back when of side skirts. Yeah, this one's got, I don't know what happened here, but yeah, that's some pretty severe damage to the side skirts right there. Who's next? We got, okay, 0330. This is the twin sister to 0329 that was down on the other end. 466 under the hood, got the eyelashes. I'm stepping in ant beds, I think. But yeah, this is the other one that has, if I walk back here, this is the other one that's got the storage bays at the back, which I'm assuming are locked. And I'm not gonna stick my finger in there until I make sure there's no wasp in there. The frick? Oh, that's just a pad. We're good. Yeah. So it opens. There's a padding under there, and as soon as I felt it, I was like, what is that? Yeah. I'm surprised there's not more wasp all over these things. We get crazy kind of wasp down here in Georgia. Like, and not the little ones either. I'm talking like them fat red ones. So like I was saying about the whole max force debacle, here is 1294, one of the two 2012s that International sold to us, with the Max Force 7, not the Max Force DT. So if any of you are wondering about that, we have tried both and they both suck. Yeah, so after these two 2012s, International basically told us, hey, we've made it better, but they hadn't made it better, and so we said, get lost. And that's when we started buying C2s from Thomas, which is where the Sister 6 comes into the story. And yeah, that's basically a very long-winded way of setting the stage for me to one day have 99. The right rear of this bus has been replaced or rebuilt at some point. It's already had the county name scrubbed, which is a little unusual. I mean, like, this one still has its plate and numbers and name and everything. But this is 0463. Now this one doesn't have, well, actually most of them don't. That's strange. They don't have the eyelashes on the back, which I wasn't even paying attention. I thought they did. That one does. That's 62. Let me zoom in for you. There you go. That's 60. That one has eyelashes on the back, but for some reason these have eyelashes on the front and not the back. But I can see like some old like rubber sealing around them on the top half, so it makes me kind of wonder if they had eyelashes at one point and then for whatever reason the eyelashes were just taken off. You know, I'm not really sure. But yeah, some of you guys were asking in the comments for me to walk back here and show off this lineup of older buses that are heading into their permanent retirement. Never fails, I always have loud vehicles when I'm trying to do a video. Yeah, see, we got eyelashes on the front, on the back. Not sure why. To answer what happened to the other 12 CE and the other 10 CE, I think those were already retired due to issues. I'm surprised these two lasted as long as they did. But that's why, I mean, that should tell you a lot, the fact that there's a 2012 sitting in the retirement line. I mean, like, we've got 03s and 04s over here, and there's a bus 99's age. She's 99's age, and she's getting retired because 99's engine is reliable. Those are not. But I guess International finally wooed us back over, or Thomas Quality Control was just getting out of hand, and that's how we ended up buying CEs again with their third generation. Who's over here? Got an 06, an 05, an 06, several 09s. Yeah, so I'm gonna give the GoPro a minute to cool off, and then we're gonna go back over here and get 171 and clean her up, and on the inside anyway, and refuel. Air conditioning has been running. It feels pretty decent in here, to be honest. So let's go get some liquid dinosaur. Beep, 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 beep. Yes, I know I don't have my seatbelt on. I'm moving all of like 100 feet-ish. Make sure my tail's clear, and then we'll start turning. That was a very aggressive hole in the ground. Now, if this was the early morning, I would sweep the bus out and then park it on the hill right here and rinse the floor out. I tried to do that the other day, but they were working on the water lines at the time I tried to do it. So the water was shut off. So I couldn't do that, and I can't do it right now because it won't have enough time to air dry before I actually go pick up kids. So I'll do it another time. Now I am gonna have to post strip because of how long the engine has been running. Usually, to arm the child check, either the engine has to be running for over 10 minutes or you have to touch the 8-ways. I have not touched the 8-ways, but the engine has been running longer than 10 minutes. So I'm gonna have to walk back there and do that. All right, that should be good. Kill that. Be right back. Shush. Blinky blinky, that means everything is okay. Now, we need to go get fuel. So 75621 is our odometer. The battery in this GoPro kind of sucks. They even said, they're like, oh, we've put some new battery in the 12 and 13 that's like, it lasts longer. No, the freak, it doesn't. It does not. It does not. All right, so here's how we do this. I have figured out that 171's filler cap door doesn't like to come open. I don't know why, but for some reason the key gets a little bit finicky in it, so I have to kind of sit there and fight it a little bit. We'll take that off, and I'll go ahead and stick the pump in, and then I'll actually set the pump up and start it running. Every once in a while you have to kind of sit there and untangle it because it'll kind of go over itself. I forgot the odometer. 75621. I knew I was going to forget it because as soon as I start talking, I scatterbrain. I now have a bus pulling in behind me for fuel. What are the odds they actually shut the engine off so that I'm not enclosed in this noise? Let's see. Doesn't seem like it. I think I'm gonna have to live with this. The yard is literally empty. But of course, as soon as I start recording, there's gonna be some source of noise that's near me. Kind of funny, kind of not. But yeah, now I just get to wait here for 100 some odd gallons of diesel. About 75. I think I had about 3/4 of a tank, so it should be about 75-ish gallons to completely fill up, which is more than the total capacity that 99 could carry. I do appreciate having a bigger fuel tank. I really do like it. Except for the fact that it takes forever to fill up. But, you know, win some, you lose some. I was a little off. It was about 60 gallons. Let's move this bus. Okay, so I have good news and I have bad news. The bad news is there is no bad news. The good news is I got a new broom. Okay, if you seriously hear me out, if you drive a school bus and you hate sweeping, most of us do, but we do it anyway. If you hate sweeping, get yourself a new broom. Like, I'm not even kidding. It makes it so much more bearable. I don't know why. I don't know how. Probably because the stuff actually moves where you want it to. But get yourself a new broom. Thank me later. Barks! Sponsor me! I'm in the middle of dumping the trash cans out and the other 12 just showed up. So apparently both of those 12 CEs are still here. Didn't know. Okay, so the sweeping has been done and the trash and old broom have been disposed of. I have the GoPro charging because it died. So it's 2 o'clock, so before too long I can actually head to the high school. I think somebody broke down. Glad it's not me. Arrived at the high school, parked up. The air conditioning's doing fairly well. I think this is about as cool as I can get it in here. So that's all I got for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then feel free to jump down in the comments section and I'll meet you down there. Have a great day. Stay cool. I'll catch you in the next one.